Hello everyone. The sunshine is out and it's going to be a beautiful, beautiful day. So let's begin the March kitchen garden tour. That wind is actually starting to pick up a little bit now, but it's just nice to feel the sunshine on your face, isn't it? Right, so let's talk about these two back beds first, because they are completely finished, completely dug and ready. So this is going to be the potato bed. We will plant them. We usually plant the potatoes on Good Friday, which is a little bit earlier this year. So I'm not entirely sure when we will be putting the potatoes in. We probably will still put them in beginning of April anyway. But yeah, that's all ready for the potatoes. So I pulled up the sprouts last weekend, I think. We dug that bit over. That was really easy to dig over. Still got the kale here because it's still growing really nicely. I have had to put this little, it's a carrot fly mesh. I've just put that around there to stop the chickens getting to the kale, because they've just realised that they can eat it. So yeah, just having to protect that from the chickens, because they are still free ranging around. I don't know where they are at the moment, which is surprising because usually they're right under my feet. Yeah, they're still free ranging the whole kitchen garden, but we have direct sown a few things, so they will be banished to the orchard very, very soon. Haven't told them yet because they won't be very happy about it. But yeah, this bed is done, so that's ready. The rhubarb is growing really nice, really, really nice. I didn't mulch that actually in the autumn, so I was thinking that I might mulch that with a little bit of manure today. And I also need to mulch the asparagus. I think I said I was going to do it in the last video in the February tour. I haven't done it yet, but I will do it today because I have some manure. I see I'm going to mulch the asparagus and mulch the rhubarb. Again, this bed is completely done. It was done quite a while ago. Actually, we do need to rake it. We need to rake it yet, but this is going to be the brassica bed, so there won't be anything going in there yet. We will be sowing the brassicas, I think, over the next couple of days. We tend to sow them. Well, last year we sowed them in some old metal tote bins, and it acted as like a nursery bed, and it worked really, really well. So we'll be doing that again this year. But yeah, the brassicas are going in there with the sweet corn and the squash and the pumpkin. So again, we'll be sowing them beginning of April time. So this bed won't really have anything planted in it until probably end of April, May time. And the garlic is just still there. It's doing what garlic does. It is looking a little bit yellow, but that's normal. That's normal for garlic this time of year. I just really hope we get some garlic. But yeah, that's those two beds. Not a lot's happening in them, but they are ready for the year. Let's talk about the front two beds now, because there is actually things growing in there. There's the chickens. I didn't think it would be long until they found me. Right, so the other two beds. This one, it's been dug. It's basically been dug. I finished off doing this part last weekend. That's where the carrots and the parsnips were. So I dug all those up. Most of the carrots had to go in the compost bin, unfortunately. Like I said, they were attacked by the carrot fly a lot this year, and because we sowed them all at the same time, we just had too many. Like we couldn't eat them all. So yeah, that was a shame. But anyway, I dug that over. That needs to be raked. Actually, needs to be raked from here. But yeah, that just needs to be raked. We have direct sown. So 2 rows of the Aqua Dulce Claudia broad beans, and we've direct sown a double row of peas. I think they're the Hurst green shaft. And then what we are doing with the peas, we are going to successionally sow them. I think there's room here for 5 double rows. So yeah, we've got the first double row in, which is very exciting. You cannot beat homegrown peas. Going to try and make sure we don't eat them all straight off the plant this year and actually freeze some. But yeah, so the broad beans and the peas are in. And then, oh, what else is going in here? My mind has gone blank. What else is going in here? Oh, do you know what it is? Yeah, it's just peas. So the peas will come up to like here, and then there's 2 rows of runner beans going in there, and then 2 wigwams with the borlotti beans and the Jack B. Little pumpkins, and then some courgettes in the middle. That's what's going in that bed. I remembered. And then we've got this bed here, which is the last bed to prepare. I do realise that it's still not dug. It's taking such a long time because this is the bed which had the couch grass in it. It's extremely difficult to dig just because there's so many roots in there. So it's taking longer than we thought it would. And also it hasn't helped that it's rained quite a lot. So yeah, we're getting there. There's 3 metres left to do, so about half of the bed left to dig, which I'm going to do today. After I finish this video, I'm just going to spend the whole day trying to dig this bit and hopefully get it done. I mean, my back probably won't thank me for it, but yeah, I'm really desperate to get it dug because it's annoying me now. It's really annoying me now. And then the plan is to try and keep on top of the couch grass this year, which will be a lot easier in this bed because last year this was potatoes, and like I said before, we couldn't really dig the couch grass roots out because of the potatoes. So yeah, hopefully we'll keep on top of it more this year and then go no dig next year. That's the plan. But anyway, in this bed we have direct sown the 1 row of parsnip, Gladiator parsnip, and we have also sown 1 row of Autumn King carrot. So there will be 3 rows of carrots here, and I am going to successionally sow them this year, not sow them all at the same time like we did last year. So yeah, I put the 1 row in, and then probably in about 3 weeks time I'll sow another row, and then 3 weeks after that I'll sow the last row of carrots. I have put the cloche over them, one to stop the chickens, because when I was trying to sow the parsnips they were going along the drill like picking the seeds out, which is very irritating. As I had to lock them in the orchard to sow the seeds, and then yeah, I've just covered them up with the cloches to stop the chickens and to give them a little bit of extra warmth to germinate. But yeah, it's all very exciting, isn't it? Direct sowing things. Very, very exciting. So also in this bed will be some Swiss chard. So I will direct sow that maybe in the next week or couple of weeks, because that bit's been dug. Swiss chard, onions, which are in modules in the polytunnel at the moment, leeks, a row of flowers, yeah, and then I think the parsnip and the carrot. I think that's all that's going in that bed. Once it's been dug. Once it's been dug. And then obviously we've got the lavender at the far end, which is growing really nice. Yeah, really excited to see the lavender just burst into colour. But yeah, that's all 4 vegetable beds. What can I show you next? Maybe we'll head into the polytunnel and I will show you what's growing in there. So we have this big idea to add more containers to the kitchen garden, just to make it look a little bit nicer. So we found some of our old pots, and some of the ones that we like sell in the shop, and we also bought a couple. I think they were going quite cheap actually, and we were going to create a nice little display in front of the polytunnel. I mean, I've got a few containers in front of the potting shed at the moment, but yeah, I'm not entirely sure what we'll be planting into them, but I just think it'll be quite nice to add, you know, a few more containers around the place, put some flowers in there. Yeah, I just think it'll look really nice. So welcome to the polytunnel. It's going okay. Like I said before, it's a huge learning curve for us because we've never grown in a polytunnel before. So yeah, we have made a few mistakes, but we will learn from them, won't we? And hopefully, you know, hopefully we'll get used to growing in a slightly different climate to what it is outside, because it is nice and toasty in here. I keep meaning to get a digital thermometer or something to see the difference between here and outside. But yeah, we've got half a row of radish, which I sowed not that long ago, actually on the 14th of March. Just starting to come up, I can see there. So I'll sow that successionally throughout the whole year because I love radish. We've got some carrots there which look like they're ready to harvest, and then we've also got 2 rows of carrots growing. Some lettuce, some rocket, some cabbage, which we have been eating them, but quite a few have now gone to seed. Probably just let that go to seed obviously now, and then just collect the seed to use in the future. And also something's been eating the cabbage. We've put a wildlife camera up to see. I mean, it's probably rats. They're probably getting underneath the doors, which is annoying, very annoying. But I mean, yeah, that's the cabbage. And then we've got the broad beans, which are looking beautiful. They got lots of flowers on. Yeah, they just look really, really healthy, really, really good. Don't know if there's any. No, just lots of flowers at the moment, but yeah, very, very exciting. And then this side we have the potatoes, which have just started to come up. They are international kidney ones, which are obviously Jersey Royals. So we've got 4 rows of them. And then we went to the garden centre and we bought some lettuce plug plants because we want to have the salad, you know, successionally grown again, so we haven't just got like an abundance of it all in one go. So we saw these in the garden centre and I thought, oh, I will get them and then we can put them in. They've got a head start, and then we can sow some over the next couple of days. So we've got some butterhead, some little gem and some Lolo Rosso. We've sown some white Lisbon spring onion, and then yeah, like I said, the rest of this will be salad. There'll also be a loofah and a melon down there. And then this side will be tomatoes. At one point, we have just sown the tomatoes, so we're not behind, but I feel like we're behind. I don't know. This is going to be tomatoes anyway, in the summer. And then we've just got loads of seedlings and onion sets and things there. Which will obviously be planted out at some point. And the onion sets are looking really good. They're starting to sprout now. So maybe start hardening them off in the next couple of weeks, and then they can go out. But obviously I need to dig that bit. Need to dig that bit before. But I mean, yeah, like I said, they won't be going out for a couple of weeks. So hopefully that will be dug by then. And yeah, that's the polytunnel. I don't think I'm going to show you the fruit bed, because nothing's really happening. I mean, they are starting to show signs of life, which is good, and the raspberries have got some nice leaves on. So yeah, that's exciting, but yeah, not a lot else is happening over there. I did cover it. I haven't really checked underneath the cover, so I'm just leaving it to do its thing. But let's head over to the orchard and I will talk to you about that. So the orchard, even though it doesn't look like it, it is starting to show signs of life. It is looking a little bit greener, believe it or not. And yeah, I have quite high hopes that the meadow seed is working its magic. But like I say, only time will tell. Only time will tell. But I'm really excited to see how it develops this year. The apple trees and the pear tree and the plum, they're all starting to show signs of life as well. So they are starting to bud, and the plum has some blossom on it, which is good, because I thought we had destroyed the plum, because when we pruned the apple tree next to it, a branch fell off and landed on the plum, and it like broke a huge chunk of it off. But yeah, there's some lovely blossom on the plum, so that's good. That's really good. And yeah, that's about it. The chicken run is looking a complete and utter mess. I might try and put some bark down in there actually, because it's getting a little bit muddy. And we planted some spring bulbs. You can just see them round the apple tree. Something did dig some of them up. Round this one, you can see little holes, and you can actually see the bulbs have been dug up. And my dad, he blamed the chickens, but I said no, they wouldn't dig holes like that. Like, they scuff, don't they? And you know, they just scuff. They don't like dig little tiny holes, I don't think, anyway. So I think it might be squirrels, because we get quite a lot of squirrels in our garden. So yeah, but yeah, that's the orchard. The chickens really like that corner. They've got like a dust bath going on underneath the holly bush, so they're there at the moment. And then we've still got the empty beehives. I think I talked about the beekeeping course, which I've been going on in the shed, in the March shed video. But yeah, I have started to go on a beekeeping course. I've had 2 classes now. There's 3 classes altogether, but I've had 2. So one was a theory one, and then the second one was a practical one, and I think the third one we're actually going to go into the apiary with the suits on and everything, which I'm so excited about. But yeah, really fascinating, really interesting. But I'm on the fence about whether to actually keep bees or not. Because they drilled into you how much of a big commitment they are. And I mean, I obviously knew that they were a commitment, but I didn't realise how much of a commitment they were. Like, they were basically saying on the course that you have to check them every week, you can't really go on holiday, and all this sort of stuff. And because we sell at the garden shows, and sometimes we are away for like 10 days, especially with the big RHS ones. Yeah, I'm worried about that big commitment thing. So I am still thinking about it. I did go to a bee convention yesterday, and it was really good. Like, it did actually get me really excited about the thought of keeping bees. So that was nice. But yeah, I'm just trying to weigh it up and to see if I can actually give them the commitment that they need. So yeah, that's that. Yeah, that's the orchard. It's hopefully coming to life. Hopefully. Like I say, only time will tell. So that's about it for the March garden tour. I think I've covered everything. I did forget to mention in one of the beds that will have the Swiss chard and the leeks and the onions, and they've got the parsnips and carrots in. There's also going to be celery, celeriac, fennel and beetroot in there as well. I don't know why I forgot, because I'm really excited about growing them, because we've never grown celery or fennel or celeriac before. But yeah, that's going in there as well. There's so much to remember, like my brain can't fit it all in. But yeah, it's a really exciting time of year. isn't it? And like, especially when you're, you know, you're starting to sow your seed or direct sow, or you're starting to plant things out. Very, very exciting. And it definitely feels like there's been a change in the weather. I mean, we have had quite a lot of wet, rainy days, but there have been a few days of pure sunshine, which has just been bliss. And it's really nice seeing all the daffodils out when you walk around the village and you just see like masses of yellow. It just makes you happy, doesn't it? And I mean, the daffodils are starting to bloom in my little tub here. So we've got my favourites. These are Sir Winston Churchill, and they smell divine as well. I love them. Yeah, they're my all-time favourite. There's also some thalia in there, which I can just see starting to bud up here. And there's some tulips as well. I can see growing there. So yeah, very, very nice time of year, very exciting. But that's about it for the March tour. I'm going to get on with digging that last bit. It might take me all day, but I'm very determined to do it. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a lovely April.